Okay, I would like you to raise the 3 cards that describe you best. Fend them out like you in playing cards. So each of those colors, they represent a different style. Each of those colors represent a different style. And you can see a colorful personality. Nobody is purely one style or another, except here this young lady.
I looked through them and I was like, well, none of these besides this describe me like well enough to facilitate getting a new.
So the green is the conscientiousness style. They're very careful, very analytical, very hard to find the cards that really describe. So
I saw the high standards and I was like, I guess that applies because I have high standards.
High standards and all that, okay, yes. So you can see that most of us are a combination of styles. So these are your primary styles. So this is a DC, ID. You didn't see the yellows. You are so well described by the yellows.
I must not have, I don't think I even had any.
Yes, maybe I didn't hand you yellows. I think that was an invisible rope.
I really do.
So because I know Claudia, I know that she probably is yellow.
Can I try now that I've learned this?
Say again?
Is this D?
Yes.
Wait, I'm not a nice person.
No, you are, well, you are actually a DI. I can see it in your eyes.
Okay.
Not one style is better than the other. There's no better style or worse style.
What if you're so indecisive? I'm like, this one.
Because you are, okay, so there are people who cannot decide. And those who are mostly green and yellow, they can come across as indecisive. So moderate pace people, it's a general tendency, what I said, that you can safely assume things, that they can be indecisive. It takes them time to decide. You have to really weigh your options. And that's great. We want you in our organization to really weigh, like we impulsively just go into things, but then we screw up. We make lots of mistakes. You measure twice, cut once, and it's done right. So that's why. But yes. It is important that in an organization we have all of the styles, whatever. I hear this authenticity praise, sing to authenticity all the time. Be authentic, be authentic. You know what? Yeah, be authentic. But when you communicate with people, how about be authentic in a respectful way? How many of you believe that it's great to follow the golden rule? Don't raise your hand. We keep hearing that follow the golden rule, follow the golden rule. In every society, they have versions of the golden rule, which is great. Yeah, don't kick me if you don't want me to kick you. Don't punch me if you don't want to get punched. So at that level, it's great. But when it comes to communication, the golden rule is straight out dangerous. Because if I treat you the way I want to be treated, Andrew would not want to talk to me ever again. Because I'm extroverted, I'm an open book. Don't ask me if you don't want to know. I just dump everything out. And when I talk to people more of my style, the ones who have more red, they can relate. They tell me their stories and we're laughing. And like sometimes my wife joins me, I'm standing in line and she stays behind looking for something and she sees me talking and laughing with somebody and she's like, wow, who's your friend? Introduce me. And I'm like, oh, we just met, I don't know his name. Because when I meet my same personality style, we connect instantly. So the I styles, they do that. And on the feedback forms, the number one thing that people put there is, thank you for helping me understand me. Thank you for helping me understand it's okay to be me. For the first 30-some years of my life, I thought there was something wrong with me. I could clean my desk in 3 weeks. And in about 2 days, I have the gift to making it same messy as it was before. It's an amazing, I'm like, what's wrong with me? If I hit a squirrel or, God forbid, a cat or a dog, I mean, I will be devastated for weeks. I will cry. When I watched Ghost, the movie Ghost, I sobbed in the movie and I was so ashamed. Why am I such a sissy? You know, nobody else is crying and you're sobbing. But no, I styles and S styles, they are more in touch with their emotions. It's normal. And I was presenting this to a insurance company, and this tall guy, he's like, no, I don't cry at movies. And I had them broken up in 4 groups, and he was in the influence style. And he's like, I don't. So I continue my presentation, and then he's like, I can't believe he knows that I'm crying at movies. So they have general tendencies, right? Very safe to assume. I style and S style, in touch with their emotions. They care about people. The C and the D style, they don't care about emotion. They care about facts, about figures, about bottom line. We are all a combination of styles. So Tony seems that he has all 4 styles and all describe him, which is amazing. That rarely happens. Because how can you be both fast-paced and moderate-paced? Both people-oriented and task-oriented? Well, actually there's is it called a spectrum? Like there's an intensity for each of these styles. So I think knowing Tony for a while, I think his dominance is pretty high, not to the max. His influence is maybe medium because he likes humor, he likes stories, but he's not over the board. And he also careful, also kind. I mean, he's balanced. So when we do an assessment, it will be a shade, like where you're. So Tony probably is pretty much close to the middle. So he can tap easily into any of the 4 dimensions. So you can flex your behavior, and you can tap into any of these. Even though you are a sky-high D and C, when you talk to a child, you can say, hey, Billy, how is your day, you know? Hey, come on here, you know? You can smile and be kind. And even though you are sky-high D or I, when you do your taxes, you can slow down and really focus. Be authentic, but be aware of people around you. Don't treat them the way you want to be treated. Instead, treat them the way they want to be treated. When you meet somebody who is more analytical, slower paced, they talk a little at a more moderate pace, slow down a little bit, especially if you want to sell them, especially if they're a customer, you want them to become a customer. If it's a team member, if you're a manager, it's hard. It is hard for me to slow down. And again, depending on the intensity of your style, if you're a sky-high D, it's really hard to slow down and talk in a moderate pace with a steadiness or a conscientiousness style. But you can. And if it's important for you, you will do it, now that you know. Because if you talk fast, and if you are like a D, and you talk to an S style, and you're serious, and you talk fast, and all the S style can't even hear what you are saying, because she or he is thinking, what's his problem? Why is he yelling at me? The dominant style, they just outspoken, direct, to the point, nothing personal. But we take it personally. We think that's something, you know, what's wrong with him? Why does he do that to me? Why does he talk to me like that? So now that you know, then you can slow down. Also as an I style, if I go to the C style and I tell them jokes and my stories, oh my God, they will get so frustrated. So you have to be careful. Flex your behavior. That's something that I would like you to take away from here today, to flex your behavior and treat people the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated. How many of you would say that you are fast-paced? Raise your hand. Fast-paced, keep it up. Fast-paced? You sure? Okay. Fast-paced and task-oriented. If you are task-oriented, keep your hand up. Task-oriented. So then you are a D style. D style, your primary style is D. Your primary style is D. Yes, next page, this page. Page number 4. If I only have 4, because I'm an I style, so I might have multiple pages with the same number. Do we have an extra? Yes. Welcome. How many of you are fast-paced and people-oriented? You love to work with people, love to talk to people, fast-paced. You are an I style. So if your hand was up earlier also, then I is your secondary. But if your hand was not up earlier, and I styles, on the previous page, under I style, you can see that they are a little scatter-minded. They are not always, their focus is a little off, because they always maybe want to people please, they have stories, whatever they hear, they remember something and they want to talk about it, a joke comes to their mind. So they can be a little scattered. They can come across as scattered because they are a little scattered often. If you are a sky-high I, again, most of us are a combination, so it will be more balanced. How many of you are people-oriented and fast-paced? People-oriented, so you love people, and fast-paced. So then you are the I, that's right, okay. And then how many of you are more moderate-paced? How many of you are more moderate-paced? Keep your hands up, moderate-paced. And people-oriented. Leave your hands up if you are people-oriented. People-oriented. So you would be an S style. So your primary disc style is S. Your primary disc style is S. And then how many of you are people-oriented, more moderate-paced and task-oriented? Really? You are like that guy who I thought he was a fluky.
That's not my default.
Yeah, so I see. Yeah, I understand. That would be very confusing years ago, but now I understand. You are a sheep in wolf's clothes, or the other way around. Yes. Those people are always confusing because you read them as an I or S style, but they are actually a C or a CD style. And that can be confusing because then you communicate with them. But they are flexible because they applied that skin. So like with Jen, I can talk. Yeah, all right. So who doesn't have their style yet? Did we go D-I-S-C? So if you are task-oriented and moderate pace, then your primary style is a C, conscientiousness. I don't know if I said it before. So if you go back to the previous, there, the names are there. Okay, that's good, okay. So what do you have in common with other styles? Notice that we all have in common, like D's and I's, they are both fast-paced. I's and S's, they are both people-oriented. S's and C's, they are both moderate-paced. So we have in common, except the opposing styles have nothing in common. The opposing styles. So the D and the S and the C and the I have nothing in common. And when you work together with the opposite style, so if your primary style is a D and your coworker is an S, you don't even know why you're driving each other nuts. I mean, from the first days of working together, it's just, because why is he always rushing? Why is he always rushing, right? Why is he always yelling? And the D doesn't necessarily yell, but they are outspoken and confident. The S style, they come across more shy. And then the D style gets impatient. Why is she so hesitant? Why doesn't she come to a decision, right? They weigh things. But for the D, that's very frustrating. The I style, they want to joke and they want to tell stories, and the C style, they don't want that. They want to focus on their work. So right away there's this tension. So if you don't understand this, then you go through your days, months, years of work and life with people around you frustrated. But once you understand this, you realize that actually you need most each other. And it's the best combination to be on the job, because we balance each other. You have gifts that I don't have, I have gifts that you don't have. You can do things that I cannot do well, and I can do things that you might not do so well. So once you understand the differences, you understand that they complement each other, then you appreciate those differences versus getting frustrated by them. After I went through the DISC training back in like 2002, I mean, it was like somebody turned the switch of relationships on in my life. I love my wife, she's my best friend. Before that DISC training, I wished I could run away. I wished I could press a button and go back before I had kids and just run away. But no, she's the best thing that happened to me. I live in a beautiful, clean house. If it wasn't for her, I would live in a dump. I suck at cleaning. We always have clothes washed in time, everything. I mean, it's just, and same with teams. Before I went through this, I always hired people just like me because we get along with people like us, and we tend to hire people like us. We would get around, we would stay around and talk, and we had a great time, but nothing would get done. And I ended up getting frustrated, and one day I fired 10, 11 of my teammates. And it's a longer story, but I wish I learned about DISC years ago, because it would have saved me lots of headache. So once I learned, and I knew that I could I had to hire people of different strengths instead of people just like me, because then, yeah. So what is your value to the organization? The bottom, put there one sentence, one little sentence, value to the organization, or if you are retired, to your family, to the people around you. What is the value that you bring to your surrounding, to your environment? What should we know about you? Tony, what did you write down? I'm just messing with you. What is your value to your organization?
What's my value?
Yeah. Your primary value as a behavior, as a characteristics.
I'm clear about our mission all the time. And every decision that I make is driven by our mission. And I'm constantly paying attention to the decisions that our teammates make and checking to see if that's in line with our mission. If it's not, then I make an adjustment. I facilitate an adjustment.
I-style individuals, influence style individuals have a gift of jumping on tangents. One of the best advices I learned in my life, and it sounds cruel, is to let go. And you probably learned this too, Jen. To let go of friends that don't build you up, that don't bring the best out of you. And surround yourself with people who you want to be like. And I don't think I said it the right way. But it's great to hang out with people like Tony. Like he said, that he brings the value of being clear with the vision and mission and sharing that with others and making sure that they are moving towards that. I love surrounding myself with people like you, because you stretch me. You see, like I forget sometimes my mission and my vision, and I go off on tangents, even in my business. When you are clear with your mission, you build something grand, and you gain awards, and you gain respect and all that. Right? let me finish this, don't forget what you're about to say. In many organizations, I usually work with management teams, and I give them a sheet of paper and I said, write down the company mission on the page and then give them to me. I get all kind of different things, really funny. And this, in this one organization, this one lady, almost verbatim, the only person, and I'm like, wow, good job. And she's like, well, I'm not as proud of that as you think, because just this morning I accidentally was on that page on the website and I remember it from there. So yeah, companies, they don't usually, and because of that there are struggles. And actually this particular company, their mission was to create a safe environment where everybody feels respected and all that, and there was one employee who was bullying others and was spreading gossips and poisoning the culture, but they could not get rid of him because he had so much knowledge. They depended on his knowledge very much. So that was a tough organization to work with. Who else who wants to share? Like, what is the value that you bring to your organization? Juliana, I saw you thinking really about it.
I think I am open-minded and positive, and both of my business partners are a little older than me, so I think I bring a younger energy, knowing how to use social media to promote our business.
Very cool, very cool. And if we have time, we'll talk about how you are perceived, but let me briefly go over it. So, what's wrong with being positive? Anything wrong with it? It's not a trick question. Not a trick question. Is anything wrong with being positive?
I mean, I think there are situations, like if you read the room, you know, if you're...
Of course, if you're going to a funeral, then you shouldn't go like, oh,
right,
you know.
Exactly, but other than that, I can't think of it.
Yeah. I told this, my youngest friend's mother, I said that I lost my son, and she said, well, he's now in a better place. And I'm like, wow, I wish it was the Stone Age so I could... No, I would have not punched her even in the Stone Age, but... But yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with being positive. But guess what? C and D stars, they get annoyed. Why is that? Why is she or he always so positive, always smiling? What is there to smile all the time? But then us who always smile, we are like, why are those so somber? What's wrong with them? Like, did a car hit their cat, or why are this? But no, that's how they're wired. That's normal. So when you understand that we are just differently wired, then it is way easier. Who else wants to share their value?
I don't know, I'm just thinking about what you said and what Tony said about mission statement. Is the mission or the goal of the company what ties both or all those personalities together?
Beautiful question, yes. So it is important to share the mission with everybody so we can all go towards that. Because if you don't know the mission, yeah, you're doing the chores, the tasks that you were assigned, but towards what end? So it's important to understand the vision and the mission so you know that you're going towards that. Imagine you get stranded on an island. Your airplane, your cruise ship boat sinks. Everybody's safe on the island. Your survival now depends, it's an uninhabited island. You wish it was Hawaii, no it's not. Uninhabited. Now your survival depends on your teamwork, on how well you work together. Some of you are decision makers and outspoken, and you say you're ready to say that this and this, and others will be more like, say, hold on, before we jump into that, let's make sure that we get all of the supplies out, let's make sure that we ration. Others, the steadiness style, they will comfort those who will cry. That, like, we all have strength, but it's important now that survival is the goal, we all get together and we tap into our gifts to survive on that island. But same in an organization, you, by understanding each other's styles, you respect each other and communicate in a way that you go towards that vision of the organization. So in many organizations where I go in, they will either buy the buttons, like they will wear the D, I, S, or C, so that way they know how to communicate with each other when they meet in the hallways or they go to each other's office. And lots of organizations, including Coca-Cola here in outside of Asheville, near the door of every office, like on the wall, before you go, it says that D or DI or SC, and it gives a couple of, like when you come in, stick to the, like if it's a D style or DC or a C style, stick to the bottom line. Don't waste my time with stories. Like it tells you how to, or the S style, I style, it says smile. Tell me a short joke or something, like every door has, like I was so impressed. I attended an event at Coca-Cola because I hoped to get my foot in there so I can do this training for them. Well, they've been doing it for many years. And they have it, everybody knows everybody's disc style. And they have employees there for like 30, 40 years. They have the highest retention rate. Really cool. So I don't know if I answered fully your question. Yeah. All right. Linda, how much time do I have?
You have a little over a half hour.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's go to the next page. So let me quiz you. If somebody moves fast, speak fast, they are more serious, they look a little more somber, and when they talk about numbers, about details. What style is that? D, fast-paced, task-oriented, yes, D. What if it's somebody, when you approach them, they are very kind and smiling, and they say, how can I help you? S. So they are slow-paced and very kind, great listener. And write that down on that page where you have the 4 quadrants, one of the first pages. The S style, they are the best listeners of the 4. They are born with that skill. They care. The I style cares. Dang, this is on video, so I don't know if I should say this. As I told my wife once, honey, I am faithful, I just can't express it. It's just a joke. But the I style is like that, like they care, but they can't express it properly because they talk too much, they overpower you, they don't listen, they are really bad listeners. The S style is the only natural listener. The C style, they are good listeners, they are the second best listener, the C style, but it's not, they don't fully care about everything you say, like, why are you sharing all that stuff with me, So, and then the D style, they are same bad listeners as the I style. Okay, so if somebody is, when you talk to them, they are moderate paced and very analytical, like they ask about facts, about data, they are cautious. What style is that? C, yes, C. And I will give you these people reading guides, and that will remind you. And I have, on one side, I have the description of the 4 style, and on the bottom, on the back, we have how to motivate each. All right, so we should be on this page now. Page number something, 7, I think. Guidelines for people reading. I think before that. Yes, guidelines for people reading. There are no good or bad styles. There are no good or bad styles. Every style, I think that's the next line. Oh yeah, the third one, yeah. Every style has strengths and limitations. That's the third line. There is no best or worst style, because people always ask me at these events, like, so which style is the better? Also, I wonder if any of you were thinking, like, can I become a D style? Or can I become an I style? So I'm asked also that regularly. No, you cannot. But you can tap into that and you can be a little more, it's not easy. So Bill, for example, I think he's a sky-high C. I think for him it's a little bit more difficult to be like, hey Joe, what's up? How you doing? Can you do that?
Not without forcing it.
Not without forcing it. So it's hard. He can do it, he can act it, but it will not be natural, right? But we can all try, and if we want to, we can. It will not, but you know what? If you talk to me and you smile, and you laugh at my joke, even if you just fake it, I will appreciate it greatly. So sometimes authenticity is overrated. You know, be kind to those around you. There's enough crap in the world. Help people around you to feel respected. It takes years, it takes a long time to build trust. It takes a second to lose that trust. And then you spend years trying to regain it. But you build that trust by being respectful to others, treat them the way they want to be treated. And this goes both ways. If you're a team, sometimes the C style and the S style are least heard because the I style keeps on yapping, the D style keeps on forcefully getting their ideas through, and the C and the S, they just sit there quietly and wondering what's wrong with these people, you know, why. And the C style has the most information because they are careful, analytical, they know the data. So as a team, you have to make sure that you ask them. And as a manager or as a parent, you make sure that everybody has a chance to express themselves, to be heard. That's all we want in life, be heard, be noticed. The I style loves it most, to be heard and appreciated. Like all my life they said, oh, you're always trying to be the life of the party, always showing off, always with your stories. And I'm like, I'm not trying. I just have stories and I love sharing them, you know. But I's love to hear that, oh, he's so cool. They like, if you give me a certificate, that employee of the month, oh, yeah. Give that to a C style and they're like, oh my gosh, I already have toilet paper and this is too rough. They throw it in the trash, it's worthless. Give me a raise or something, right? So you have to know again how to motivate each different style. The I style can be motivated with praise, with flattery. All right. All styles can be more or less effective depending on how an individual is able to modify his or her behavior to meet the needs of others. That was a mouthful. Everyone is a mix of styles, so it may be difficult to always read people correctly. All right. Keys to relating to this style. How do we communicate best, easiest, most effective with these styles? Should I tell stories with the D style? No. Stick to the point, be brief and to the point. Brief and to the point. Respect their need for autonomy. And if you cannot write as fast as I talk, I can send you all of these. Be clear about rules and expectations. Be clear about rules and expectations. Let them initiate. Let them initiate. These styles love to lead. Of the four styles, they are the ones who love to take charge. And if something happens and you have one or two these styles in the group, they will be the ones who will stand up and they will be like, this is what, like there's an earthquake or anything happening, they will be the ones who will stand up and will tell everybody what to do. They have no hesitation. Show your competence. Show your competence. Again, these styles, they don't want you to tell jokes, stories, just give them the bottom line. Stick to the topic, show independence. Because they are independent, they want to see you as independent. Eliminate time wasters. That can be chit chat or all kind of other stuff. Not necessary meetings, whatever time wasters you can to help them be more effective in your team. Be prepared that they will be blunt, demanding approaches. Lack of empathy, lack of sensitivity, little social interaction. They just tell you what they need to tell you and they move on. I used to be annoyed by D. I used to be, I think scared is a good word, because they were so direct, so serious, and maybe they would remind me of my dad, so I would feel like a little cramp in my chest and stomach. But now I appreciate, I love these, because I know how I stand with them. They just tell me, and when they talk to me, or I see them in my environment, I'm like, oh, that's a D style. 20 years ago, I would have said, what a jerk, what's wrong with him? But now, no, it's a D style. I don't have that tension anymore, having difficult people around me. Now I see, like Neo sees the Matrix, I see different behavioral dimensions. All right, so the influence style. Approach them informally. Again, if you come to an I style, if you approach an I style and you are very serious, and you ask these serious questions, they feel a little bit angst. So smile, approach them informally. Be relaxed and sociable. Let them verbalize their thoughts and feelings. Keep the conversation light. Again, if you try to sell to an I style, or you try to motivate an I style employee, then you have to try to flex your behavior and implement as many of these as possible. Provide written details. Again, I styles can be scattered-minded because they are people-oriented. So if you give them a task, if the task is not 100% people-oriented, they will miss steps. So you give them written details. Give public recognition for individual accomplishments. They will love it. Use humor, even if bad one. They will appreciate it. Be prepared for, actually for us, anything is funny. You tell us a bad joke, we will be like, hey Joe, that was such a silly joke, and we will laugh, right? So it's very easy to make I styles laugh. Be prepared that they attempt to persuade or influence others. The I style is the only style that they can persuade you to something that even they don't believe. They love to, well, not argue, but they love to debate. So the S and the I style, so people-oriented people. So I told you, you can safely assume things. The people-oriented people fear conflict. They do not like conflict. The D and the C, they're okay with it, especially the D. Oh yeah, they don't have a problem with that. The DI, get in a conflict, we yell at each other. 10 minutes later, I'm like, hey, you want to go for lunch? We go have lunch and we're fine. You have a conflict with the S or a C style, they might hold a grudge for months or years. So if you step on a C or S style's toes, make sure that you apologize. With the D and the I, you don't even have to apologize because we are naturally ADD. So we forget. It's okay, we can yell at each other and 5 minutes later we can be friends again. So the I style, they have a need for the limelight. They have an overestimation of self and others. I can do it, I can do it. They love saying that. But they overestimate. Overselling ideas. Vulnerability to perceive rejection. So be prepared that they have vulnerability to perceive rejection. They can be very enthusiastic, share an idea with you, and if they perceive that you reject their idea, they are like, oh. So, but still, I mean, lots of their ideas are out there, so that's okay. Have to shoot them down, but do it gently. The S style, be systematic, in your approach. Be systematic in your approach. Provide a consistent and secure environment. The S style, they love, as their name suggests, steadiness. They love their environment to be steady. Let them know exactly how things will be done. Both C and the S styles, they need to know exactly how things will be done. They like written procedures. Use sincere appreciation. The S style, they care. They are naturally most supporting of the 4 styles. Also often the most, I will use the wrong word, abused. It's not abused in purpose, but if you ask the S style, hey Jennifer, can you do this for me? Yes, of course. And then Jim comes, hey Jennifer, can you please do this? Yeah, of course I can. Somebody else comes from the office, can you help me with this? Yeah, of course. Like they say yes to everything. The I and the S, so again, general tendencies, they both have difficulty saying no. I have a whole chapter in my book about how to say no. You have to learn to say no. And the S style, they say yes to everything, and then they get overwhelmed, and then they snap. So be kind to your S styles, because they often don't speak up. They say yes even if they cannot take on anymore. And show your appreciation to them, because they are always there for you. They care, they help, they support, but because they are so quiet and gentle, often they are neglected and we don't appreciate them. We don't show. So make sure that you express your appreciation. Show their importance to the organization. Let them adapt slowly to change. To the D and the I style, you say that starting tomorrow we will have new procedures, we will blah, 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 changes, right? And then we're like, yes, finally, it was time. And then the C and the S style coworkers, they look at each other like, why? Like they need to understand the why. You cannot dump change on them abruptly. Be prepared that they have high friendliness to colleagues and supervisors. They are very friendly, very kind, supportive. They have resistance to change, difficulty identifying priorities. They hesitate. So that's why they appreciate it when they know exactly what they need to do. Difficulty with deadlines. Both S and C styles tend to have difficulty with deadlines because they are so careful that they spend way too much time on it. My wife gets so frustrated. She plans the day and it's already, what, it's 7 o'clock, I didn't even get halfway through my... But when she cuts those carrots, they have to be so perfect. I'm like, why don't you put them in the chopper? Like she's so careful with everything and slow. And so, but yeah, I learned not to advise, because then I get in trouble. Happy wife, happy life, so just let her be. All right, the C style, finally, let's see how do we communicate best with the C style, or relating to the C. Provide clear expectations and deadlines. Again, if you don't give them clear deadlines, they will stretch that task out because they will analyze it from every angle and make sure that it is done right. Show dependability. Demonstrate loyalty. So when you talk to a C style, be tactful and emotionally reserved. If I'm my authentic me, I might be very expressive about my emotions, about maybe I will curse, who knows. But with the C style, when I recognize the C style, I will make sure that I stick to non-emotional things, I stick to facts, and I'm tactful and emotionally reserved, especially when I talk to prospects. I recognize the style, I try to talk in their language. Now if I talk to Jennifer, then I talk the wrong language because she's not what she seems. So it's not always 100% accurate, what you perceive, but 9 times out of 10 it is accurate. Be precise and focused. Be precise and focused, because they are precise and focused, they expect the same from you. Value high standards. Express once in a while that you appreciate their attention to detail. The number one issue, the number one problem for the conflict that you have in your life and the conflicts that we have in teams is our expectations. You should write that down and tattoo it on your forehead, forearm, whatever is more convenient. Because if you learn this, to manage your expectations, your life will be so much easier, your relationships will be so much easier. Because I expect you, when you talk to me, to smile. And if you don't, what's wrong with you? Why are you so somber? Why are you so nitpicky? Why are you such a jackass, right? But if you talk to me in a, let's say, moderate paced, analytical, my neighbor Al, he'd be like, did you know that, says, I dug this 2 feet hole in the ground and I checked to see how the water perks. And did you know that the pH of the soil and blah, 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 blah. Like, I cannot repeat what he said. But he gave me all the chemical components of the soil and the water and the pH of the water and how it affects the perking. In 20 minutes he was able to tell me, and I didn't understand a single word. He would also tell me about his motorcycle engine. And it hurt. But I was already a disc ninja, so I listened to him carefully. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's so cool. And it's so cool that you know all this. I wish I knew half of what you know, right? Life is funny. Cancer took Al away very young. So manage your expectations. Your expectations is what will create the most conflict and pain, anxiety in your life. So make sure that you manage your expectations. All right, so for the C style, be prepared for discomfort with ambiguity. If you give them as a manager an unclear or open-ended task, they get uncomfortable. They are resistant to vague or general information. They want to know the bottom line. They need to know the exact data. They have a strong desire to double check, and they have very little need for affiliation with others. They love working on their own. Any questions? I must be doing an excellent job, no questions. Okay, next page.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What happens when you have the two of the same personality types? Does anything get done?
So, excellent question. Thank you for that question. Yeah, please ask your questions because it helps everybody. Well, I will not put it anywhere, so if Linda puts it, that's whatever. So my brother and his wife, they're the same personality style. ID. On the couch, there is a mountain of washed clothes, and you choose whatever you want to wear. My parents get really frustrated because there's hair in the bathroom, and so when two personality styles are in a marriage or in a business together, like when I hired all I-style employees, nothing was getting done. And even when I would tell them to do things, they would laugh it off or go and goof off. So I fired the whole team one day because I got so frustrated. Actually, I was coughing, I was sick. I unloaded a whole truck by myself, a big truck. It took me about 2 hours, and the team was standing near there, chatting, laughing, and I unloaded the truck by myself. And then I walked over to them, and I'm a ninja, very calm. I said, you guys, you are fired. Like, why? Like, because you saw me unload the truck and nobody helped me. He says, well, you didn't ask. But when I hired them, I said, I don't want you to think of yourself as an employee. I want you to think of yourself as a teammate. You see, I-styles, they have these big concepts that, hey, we are all together in this, let's hold hand and kumbaya, we are, teammates. But expectations, right? Your expectations, I expected that they see that I need help and they will help me. Why didn't you ask? I'm like, I thought you would see, you are part of the team, right? So, yes, when the same style is together, like 2 C styles are in a marriage, for example, it will be a perfect house, right? I'm just worried that those people will not have much fun. Like in our house, I make sure that we have fun, and my wife appreciates it, she loves it. But it's better in every environment to have a combination. But again, there are organizations where it's good to have the same style. And it depends what kind of styles are together. Like D and I's, it's a disaster. I've been in a couple of houses like that, and it's not pretty. So I'm very, very blessed to be married to a CS style. Very kind, everybody loves her, very kind. Also gets lots of awards on the job for being so supportive and all that. So very proud of her. She's a nurse. So what do you think are the goals of a D style? On the next page. What are the goals of a D style? Get things done. Get GTSD. Yes, get things done. What are their fears? What is a D-style fear? Loss of control. They want to be in charge. They want to be in charge. So loss of control is one of their fear. If they are part of a team and they don't get to be in charge of something, if they are told every little thing how to do, they feel stifled. They feel caged. They fear appearing weak. They like to appear in charge. How about the I style? What is their goal? I style. What might be their main goal?
Have people agree.
Happy who?
Have people agree.
Have people agree. Friendliness, sociable. Their main goal is just happy relationships, great relationships. Their fear is being ignored. For an I style, that's one of the worst things because they love to talk, and when they talk to you, if you don't listen, you're checking your phone. I talk to my brother and he will be on his phone all the time, and I just stop talking in the middle of the statement. I'm like, okay. I love him dearly, but technology took him away from me. Conflict. Very uncomfortable with conflict. That's a fear of I style and the S style. You can put that at the bottom too for steadiness. How about the steadiness? What is their main goal? So for both the D and the I, one of their goals is also change or diversity. What is the word? They like every day to do something new. Variety, that's the word, variety. Both of them, they love variety. The S and the C, one of their goals is steadiness. They like routine. They like to know exactly what to do. Their fear, again, for the S style is conflict, criticism. Both S and C style, they are really careful when they do something